Hello, I'm Cindy Arenberg Seltzer, President and CEO of the Children's Services Council of Broward County. Welcome to another episode of Future First, Focus on Broward's Children. We have all been witnesses of or participants in situations where a toddler or young child simply appears to be out of control. When these episodes happen on a regular or recurring basis, the response might be to exclude these children and or tag them as problem children. The concept of positive behavior support, or PBS, challenges that approach and refocuses teachers and caregivers on what is best for the child. As a comprehensive and inclusive approach, PBS fosters a child's social and emotional development and positively impacts the teacher, the classroom, the child, and the home. With me to discuss PBS and how this exciting development in capacity building for adults and children is being implemented in Broward County are Maria Hernandez, Director of Family Support Services for Family Central, Inc., Khalil Zania, Vice President of Family Central, Inc., and Sharon Cohen, Early Childhood Education Project Manager with us at the Children's Services Council. Later, we'll hear from Samantha Kokocinski, a teacher at the Tamarac Preschool Academy, where PBS is being implemented. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. As the mother of a 4-year-old who witnesses these kinds of events on a regular basis and is grappling with it, I am so glad this is happening in Broward. Sharon, I'm going to start with you.
Sure.
Because this initiative kind of sprang from the Children's Services Council looking at the issue of expulsions from preschool.
Right.
So
we're really fortunate in Broward that Children's Services Council and Family Central and the Early Learning Coalition and many other partners have been rather forward-thinking over the last few years, even back 6-7 years ago now. I think it's been with the Broward County Children's Strategic Plan, where this county really is looking at ways to address a number of issues without just heading in and saying this sounds like a good idea and we should try it and let's see how it works. Often those good intentions look great on paper, but they don't pan out. And one of the things that's been wonderful over the last few years, because there's been a focused effort to look at what works, is we've looked at national models. And one of the things that came out of this was positive behavior support, which is being used around the country in various ways. And it's a pyramid model of serving. In this case, I say serving children, but what this really does is work with the staff and parents involved in a child care center. What we've learned is, just as you said, when you have a challenging toddler, often they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're very good at being 2 and 3 and 4. Some are outstanding at it. And it's up to the adults who are with them all day long, their teachers and their parents, to know how to work with them. It's amazing how when you know what to do, the challenges, they stop looking like bad children. We have a habit of labeling a child very early on as being bad, and that's dangerous. And with positive behavior support, it takes the emphasis off of that and puts the onus on the adults who are able to learn new skills and new ways of interacting with that child who may be acting the very same way they were the day before, but we now know what to do with them. And that has just been remarkable. I think that's the model that we are pushing forward here.
I was reminding my husband that it's my daughter's job to push the boundaries. That's where she is in her developmental stage, and it's our job to make sure there are boundaries for her to push against. And perhaps if I can keep that in mind,
it's hard when you're in the moment of it. And that's what PBS is about, giving parents and teachers those tools so that those moments aren't so overwhelming and you can refocus in that moment and take a breath and say, she's 4, we can handle this. Even though she may be yelling or screaming at that moment, we can do this. And it's amazing how that works.
One of the things I'm also proud of is, as you talked about, we don't just go after different programs, we also look at systems. We look at how can we improve the system so that it's not just one specific child or that child who's in a program that benefits, but really how do we strengthen the whole thing? And Family Central has been a magnificent and continual partner in that effort to strengthen systems.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about PBS. I'm extremely excited about it. Understanding that brain development happens 90% of it between 0 and 5, this was just the right way to go in impacting children early. And looking at the system, Family Central works with almost 1,100 child care providers in Broward County, legally operating centers. And the vision we have with the right resources is to really expand the PBS movement throughout every child care center in Broward County, giving them the tools to work with the parents and work with children to make sure that they can instill in children good skills early that are going to lead to educational, emotional, physical, and just continued success throughout life. So we're very excited. We've had some great early success in the program, and it's a great example of your tax dollars really put in the right place, because the return on investment is incredible. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce recently did a study and talked about every investment in early care and education between $3 and $17 per every dollar spent in the child's lifetime. So we're excited. We're doing good things, and the early results are very positive and impactful.
And now one of the challenges that we face, it's not just the challenging children, but we have a very high turnover in child care workers. You had some expulsions of children because you have people who are not trained, who are saying, I just can't deal with this child, take them somewhere else and segregate them. And PBS really helps address that. Maria, how many centers are you in now? And how does that help? How does PBS help with the expulsions and the retention?
We are serving 15 centers in Broward County. One of the greatest things about positive behavior support is that it has 3 different components. We have an universal component. We go into the center and we train everybody at all levels. We train the teachers, we train directors, and we train the children themselves. We teach them problem-solving skills. At the second level of intervention, we work with those children that are exhibiting the challenging behaviors. We do more one-on-one with those children, and we work with the parents. We do parenting groups during the evenings. We invite the parents to come for about 8 weeks, and we teach them how to work with their children. We also have another level of intervention for those children that they are really in the borderline or being exposed from school. And for those, it's more a clinical model. We do a lot of behavior modification techniques, and we involve the parents in those techniques. It's a teamwork approach. We work with the parents, with the teachers, and the child, designing the plan for intervention. We also do trainings, classroom trainings. We do a lot of mentoring and coaching. The teachers, they want to do a good job with the children. It's just that they don't have the appropriate training or the skills to do it. Through positive behavior support, we are able to go in the classroom. We use 3 different models. The first one is we do it for them. For the first couple of weeks, we do the interventions for them. We manage a lot of things in the classroom ourselves. And then when we feel that they are learning the concepts, we do it with them. The teachers do a little bit, we do a little bit. And then the third piece is that once they're comfortable, they do it themselves. They do it by their own, and we just provide feedback.
Recently, we had the benefit of hearing from some of those teachers at a CSC meeting, and I'd love to give our viewers the chance to hear from a teacher who is successfully implementing PBS in the classroom. Samantha Kokocinski is a lead teacher for 4-year-olds at the Tamarac Preschool Academy.
Positive behavior support has really helped my classroom. I've had children that would have to leave our school because we thought that we couldn't handle them. And now I have the tools to handle them myself, and I feel a lot better because I can do it. I don't have to send them to an office. I can handle it in my classroom. It makes me feel really good that I can do that. And we've seen a big difference with our kids. When the model was first introduced, we were a little skeptical at first. It was a little scary, a little overwhelming. But overall, I think in the last year, it's really helped us a lot. And we can now help children, and it's instead of having children running around our classrooms and having to bring them to the office every day, we can handle that ourselves, and we can make them happier and get to the root of the problem, which is the biggest part, is finding out why they're upset and why they act out the way that they do. You know, some teachers think that it's the child that's the problem, and what we realize now is that it's ourselves. Some of us, we're adults, we're grown people, and we don't know how to react to the situation. And if we're adults and we can't react, what makes you think that a 4-year-old knows how to express himself or herself? So we've learned to analyze how we react. And instead of being overbearing and telling them to do something, we come down to their level, and now we can ask them what's wrong, and why they're acting this way, and we can give them better ways to express themselves and to relieve their anger or their sadness, or to express their happiness. Sometimes they just don't know how to handle their emotions, and now we know how to help them do that. Engaging the parents was very hard. They were as skeptical as we were as teachers, but what I've done is I've set up different areas in my classroom where they can see that the child has done something positive or something very nice for our classroom. It's called Sensational Students, and each ray of the sun has a child's name and what they did nice today, or what they would like to do nice. If they've done something that wasn't very nice, we can ask them what they can do to make that better, and we'll write that on the sun ray for their parents to see. We also have a really big welcome board, and on the board shows our upcoming events and donations that we need for our classroom, and we like to recognize our parents on a parent spotlight that say, thank you for participating, and thank you for coming in and reading a book to our children, and what else? We also have a Student of the Week bag. I choose a student every week to be our Student of the Week, and we send home a bag that's full of games and books that we're reading in class so that they can engage with their child what we're doing in school, because what we're learning in school needs to also be implemented at home. I send home the breathing techniques and some of our visual cues so that their parents can get the full effect of the program as well. In the first year, we have gotten a lot of feedback from our parents. The first couple months were a little rough. They didn't want to interact with the children with the stuff we were sending home, which was surprising to me. But after they saw that it was helping them, and they really started to enjoy it, now they look forward to the Student of the Week bag, and they look forward to playing games and seeing what their child has learned. And they use the breathing techniques at home, some of them. And they've actually seen a big difference in their child, because they can have them relax, and they can deal with emotions now too, and they have learned from their children. With it being a funded program, I think that we should be able to keep this program going ourselves. If we lose the funding or what have you, the trainers have really instilled a positive training, I suppose, within us, that we can do it ourselves. If they leave, we've created our own teams, we've created action plans and goals. We've set goals for ourselves, our classrooms, our schools, and we have our parents involved and our administration involved. I think we could do it without them if we happen to lose funding, or, God forbid, we have to lose our trainers. They've really done a great job training us, and I can promote this into other schools. If I had to go to a different school that didn't have this, I could do it there. It's good trainers.